Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase. So, some of you may have already seen my original handles custom, but quite a while ago, well before Christmas in fact actually, he had an update, and so I'm going to take you over what I've done. So most prominently, obviously, the faceplate has been completely redone. Originally I tried to actually make it using proper indented eyes and things like that, but it was just too flimsy, it didn't come out well. So unfortunately, you know, I have had to basically leave the eyes as blank pieces of card, which does look a little bit 2D, but just generally it still looks the part, and it looks a lot more how I originally envisioned. As I don't know how well I can capture this on camera because he's quite big. I might have to move the camera back slightly. As you can see, the sort of overall shape, especially the head dome, is still quite large. So it's a little bit out of proportion. But you know, I've got to do what I can with the pieces that I've got here on the head. I did try to cut away the inside vent, but unfortunately it was very hard to do, and the moment I started cutting that away, it started breaking the seals around the edges, and it would have ended up meaning that he would have fallen to pieces probably. So, you know, at the risk of making him look sort of slightly humped across the head, I decided to keep it that way. But you know, it still looks like handles, it still looks like the part of handles. The other thing, I've just added on a bit more backing, because obviously it was previously cut off there. Obviously it doesn't stick out as far enough, but it was just there really to give extra support when it's being displayed. That means it can hold there. And that is pretty much it. Not a lot else has been updated. As I said, I just sort of wanted to, you know, I wanted him to look a bit more like handles in the face, and I'm very, very pleased with how it's come out. Very pleased with all the weathering and everything. Pretty much, it's worth saying that the only thing I've changed in the faceplate is actually I've pretty much had to rebuild the whole thing. A lot of people only really notice probably is the change in the faceplate, but the whole front and the whole head had to be completely remade, because the moment I added the faceplate, I cut the faceplate to fit around the existing stuff, and I put the faceplate on and there was a gap here. So I trimmed it, fixed it that, and then that led to a gap here, which is technically still there. So I filled that gap, and then it meant that this didn't fit on top. So, and essentially it got to the point where I got to I think actually putting this top bit back on again, and it got to the point where I just thought, every change I make, such as if I fit something here, something down here is going to stop, you know, fitting, and then if I change that there, something up there is going to finish fitting, and then if I do it there, it's going to stop here. So just to stop me having to work with an endless amount of changes, I just decided to scrap the whole thing and start from the very beginning again. But it worked, it was very good. Obviously as a basis I used, well, at the time it was a proper silver Cyberman, but I used the head from my wooden Cyberman. I have to say, I am still very tempted to try and redo this part again, just to get it a bit more just to get it a bit more further back. But the main reason I want to try it, as I said, when I tried to cut it off before, obviously it started to break it. Now, I don't have the tools at the moment, but after sort of doing some more, starting to as my skills started to build up more in my custom since I did this, it's dawned on me that there might be a way to do this, to remove this, but the thing is, to do it, I would have to do it very, very slowly and carefully, and I genuinely reckon that to remove this carefully and to get it all trimmed out and flush exactly how I wanted it, and to do it slow enough, would probably take me about anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. So, you know, just to remove a vent, it's a lot of work, and it's probably not something that I'm going to do soon, but it is definitely something that I would like to try doing in future, because, you know, this is something that I've put a lot of work into, and I would like to try and get it I don't want it to be perfect, because I can't get it perfect. There are things that will never be right, such as the joining of the actual handles as such and things like that. Those are always going to be like the older versions, so it's not going to work completely. But there are just some things that when I look at it, and specifically the crown, I look at it and it just doesn't look right. It looks off, and so it is definitely something that I would like to go back in future and redo. Hopefully I can do it without having to deconstruct the whole thing. I would have to remove, obviously, the dome that I've put on and measure all this out and recreate it, and it would mean there will be some tearing around the edges. But if I'm lucky, I can do that and then disguise it with some more weathering, or, again, mask all of this off. Pretty much everything. Mask off the whole head. Do this, spray paint it up, and then just weather it again, and you hopefully wouldn't notice the difference. But that is something that I definitely want to try and do again in future. But as he stands, that is, or as he lies down, I should say, that is my updated handles. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.